In this video series we will show you how to check the machine accuracy and calibrate your machine if necessary. Part 3 of 3 shows how to calibrate your machine. We will demonstrate this task using an R5, but the required steps for all models are very similar. There are 3 different calibration specimens depending on your machine. We will show you how to measure each type. A calibration workflow consists of 3 steps unless specific instructions tell you otherwise. Step 1 is to manufacture and measure a test specimen to check if a recalibration is required. For more details on this topic, watch the video, Checking the Machine Accuracy. You can find the link in the video description below. If you have determined in the first step that a recalibration is required, the second step is to recalibrate your machine as shown in this video. In the final step you have to manufacture and measure once more a test specimen to verify that the calibration was successful. Note that a calibration workflow takes much time and will deteriorate the machining results if it is improperly executed. If you have any doubts regarding the calibration, contact customer service before the calibration process. To manufacture a calibration specimen, you need the calibration set, which is delivered with your machine. This set consists of the following items: a micrometer for measuring the test and calibration specimens, special blanks or blocks from which calibration and test specimens are milled, and the tool used to mill calibration and test specimens. In Dental CNC, open the application settings and navigate to the machine maintenance view. Select Calibration Specimen. Dental CNC opens the machining view. The job for the calibration specimen now displays in the job list. Mount a disc from the calibration set into the working chamber. For the R5, mount the disc directly into the blank holder and do not use the blank changer. For the N4 and N4 Plus you need to prepare the blanks. Insert the shafts into the recesses and align the openings for the screws with the respective openings in the blank. Then screw down the shafts tightly. Insert the required tool and make sure that the tool lifetime hasn't been exceeded. Start the job. After completing the calibration specimen, a window opens in Dental CNC in which you later have to enter the measured values. With these values, Dental CNC will calculate a new error compensation for the machine. When the job is completed, remove the disc from the holder and separate the calibration specimen from the disc. If your machine is an E5, N4 Plus, R5, K5, K5 Plus or from the S series, separate the measuring spot, M, from the calibration specimen as well. Clean the individual parts of the calibration specimen with a brush. Make sure there are no machining residues left before measuring. Label the calibration specimen with a name and current date. Prepare and use the micrometer as shown in part 1 of 3 in this video series. Using the micrometer correctly. You can find the link in the video description below. The calibration specimen for the S series, K5, K5 Plus, E5 and R5 use 2 symbols to mark measuring points, circles, and bars. There are also 2 slanted surfaces which need to be measured except for the R5. Start measuring the width of the outer cube which is labeled with 1 circle. Measure each point at least twice to make sure that the measured values are correct. Enter the measured value into the corresponding Dental CNC input field. Next, measure the height of the same cube and enter the value. Continue until you have measured all 4 cubes. After the cubes, measure the height of the measuring points labeled with bars and enter the values. Notice: to measure the width of cube M, rotate the cube as shown in the video, and position the micrometer at the top of the cube or your measured values will be greatly falsified. Measure the width and height of the cube, M, and enter the values. For the S series, K5, K5 Plus and E5, measure the distance between the opposite slanted surfaces and enter the values. The measuring surface A is marked with one circle. The surface without any marking is the measuring surface B. The calibration specimen for the N4 and N4 Plus use two symbols to mark measuring points as well: circles and bars. Start measuring the width of the outer cube, which is labeled with one circle. Measure each point at least twice to make sure that the measured values are correct. Enter the measured value into the corresponding Dental CNC input field. Next, measure the height of the same cube and enter the value. Continue like this until you have measured all 4 cubes. After the cubes, measure the height of the measuring points labeled with bars and enter the values. Notice, to measure the width of cube M, rotate the cube as shown in the video, and position the micrometer at the top of the cube or your measured values will be greatly falsified. Measure the width and height of the cube, M, and enter the values. There are 3 measuring points on the Z4 and E4 calibration specimen: Z1, Z2, and Z3. Additionally, you need to measure the line segments X and Y. Start with measuring the width of the line segments, X, and Y. Enter the measured value into the corresponding Dental CNC input field. Measure each point at least twice to make sure that the measured values are correct. Next, measure the height of the measuring points labeled with Z1, Z2, and Z3. Enter the values. After having determined all the required measurements, confirm your input, and the message in the new dialog window as well. To verify that the calibration was successful, you need to manufacture and measure a test specimen once more unless specific instructions tell you otherwise. For this task, revisit our video on this topic. You can find the link in the video description below. If one or more measured values of the new test specimen are still out of tolerance, you have to calibrate your machine once more or contact customer service. For a comprehensive knowledge base about VHF dental machines and DentalCam, visit dentalportal.info. We hope that this was helpful. Thank you for watching.